what made me go into web design, it all started off as a result of me losing my job. So I was working in the factory in the UK. At the time, I had 3 kids, and the job that I was doing was really hard, and there was no way I could leave the job because that was my source of supporting my family. So what happened is there was an issue with the company, and they had to shut down, and they had to make a lot of people redundant. And unfortunately, I was one of those people. So when I left, I came back home and I was just looking at my family with no way to support them or provide for them. And that was a wake-up call for me because I knew I had to do something to provide for them. So what I ended up doing was, at the time, there was a lot of books I used to read, especially with design books. So I started looking at Dreamweaver, I started looking at Photoshop magazines, and I came up with an idea of trying to build websites. So at the time, I started off with Dreamweaver. It was quite difficult, but when when I discovered WordPress, I mean, that really changed everything for me. So it took me about a month or 2 to really work out how WordPress worked and the ins and outs of it. And I decided that I was going to start a business designing websites. And I remember my first website was my friend's brother. He had a restaurant in Luton, England. And so I offered to design the website for him. It wasn't all that. I mean, it wasn't very good, but that was my first website I did. So when I did that website, I had a bit of confidence, but I was still stressed because I hadn't done a business before. I hadn't approached companies before. And this was my first time setting up a business and running as a freelance designer. But bear in mind, I had no experience. So all the knowledge I had was just reading through magazines, but I did not have experience. So I guess some of you are in that situation where you haven't designed any websites for clients yet, and you may have maybe a few issues with your confidence, and it may be something very stressful to get started with because you haven't done it before. So I've been there, and I'm telling you that you can really get there. So anyway, the trouble with me now was because I'm an introvert, it was very difficult for me to go out there and start approaching companies. So it was better for me to talk to friends and family and ask if anyone needed my web design services. So I started learning more about the WordPress, and eventually I landed on a theme builder called Headway. So at the time, this is going way back, Headway was a theme, but it was really, really good because it allowed you to customize any part of your WordPress website. And this was really, really cool. So I used that, started designing websites for a few companies, and I decided to contact a company called Groupon. So they had some adverts for small businesses, and they would advertise your services. And once they advertise your services, you give them a cut, and you remain with the majority, and then that's how you design the website. So I went on with the deal, and I started designing websites through Groupon. And at the time, I thought it was a good idea, and that is where I had so many customers come through because a lot of small businesses wanted a website designed. So I took it on, and I started designing websites, and this is where I came to a realization that time is money, because I had a total of about 150, close to 200 websites I had to design by myself, and I didn't have much to work with. All I had was a theme. Of course, I could use it on unlimited websites, but this was a really big challenge because I had to design each and every website from scratch. So this was a very big challenge. So today we're going to be talking about the tools that you're going to need in order for you to succeed as a freelance designer, because the way I did it was wrong. And now we even have better tools to allow us to help us design our websites. And by the way, if you have any questions, please ask me in the comments box, and I'll do my best to respond to them. All right. So moving on, I designed those websites, and things were really, really good. So when I got to a point where I was getting really stressed with designing these websites, I discovered Divi. And at the time, Divi was very, very easy to use compared to Headway. And So I just changed all the future websites I was designing to Divi. So that's where I fell in love with Divi, because I used it at the initial versions, just after they had those themes. So when the theme builder came in, that is when I started using Divi, and that made my design workflow much easier. It wasn't perfect, but it was much better. So as I mentioned before, time is money as a freelance designer. If you end up spending so much time designing one website, one, you're going to get frustrated. Two, you're neglecting, other customers. Three, you could even have future websites you could be working on, but because you're stuck on one website which is taking way too long, it means it's going to affect your business. So, like I said, time is money, and let's talk about the tools that you're going to need in order for you to work really fast. So, I chose Divi as a theme builder for this course because Divi comes with a lot of advantages. Number one, you buy one version of Divi, you can use it on unlimited websites. That is huge. Okay, so if you're a freelance designer, this, in my opinion, is the best option because you buy Divi once, you can use it on unlimited websites. And if you go for the lifetime deal, you're going to have lifetime support, lifetime updates. So it's super important. Secondly, Divi also comes with a lot of additions or things that make it really good, which are Divi Cloud. You have presets, you also have global colors, the theme builder, and the role editor. All these are tools within Divi that allow you to become a great freelance designer. Now, let's talk about the first thing you want to do when you start designing your websites. And by the way, I'm going to be talking about Sitecrafter. Now, this goes for $149, I think. But because you purchase this course, you get it 100% free. Okay, so if you don't see it in your dashboard, just drop me an email, and I'll respond to that with a link to it. Okay, so Sitecrafter is a child theme that I created, which makes it easy for you to start designing your websites. So let's take a look here at the website that I have. I mean, pretty much it has nothing on it. It's just a blank website. So when you take a look here, you can see this is the website. So if I go to visit the site, no customizations done at all. So we are just looking at this as your first website you need to design for your client. So this is it. Blank website, nothing on it. So what you need to do when you first start a project is to use the Sitecrafter theme builder. Sitecrafter child theme, sorry. So to install it is very easy. You go to your dashboard. Now my internet might be a bit slow because I've got so many things running here, and also running this live stream. Okay, so what you want to do when you get here is to go to plugins and then click on add new. Now once you download it, it's going to be on your computer somewhere. So now let's look for that file on our computer, and here it is. So there is Sitecrafter there. So what I'm going to do now is to just install it as a normal plugin by coming over here to upload plugin. So now I'm going to drag and drop it here like that, and then click install now. So what this does is it installs everything that you need in order for you to have a blank template where you can start designing your website. And by the way, this is a multi-purpose theme, child theme, and you can use it on as many websites as you want. Okay, so now that I've got this, all I have to do now is to activate the plugin. Now notice what happens when I activate the plugin. On the bottom here, we have a new entry called Sitecrafter. You want to click here and then install it. So I've just clicked here on Sitecrafter. Now, you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom here so you can see this theme builder is already installed. So it's very important that you have Divi installed before you use Sitecrafter. And you also need to use the latest version of Divi. That's very important. Okay, so why Sitecrafter? First of all, there are some plugins which you need to use out of the box. First of all, we have Anti-Spam B. So if you're running a website with a blog, Anti-Spam B is very important. We also have Fluent CRM. This is automation for WordPress email. Again, this is a WordPress plugin. It's the free version. You also have Fluent SMTP. This is what connects your WordPress to your WordPress website to email service providers. You also have Fluent Forms. and Rank Math for SEO. So this is an SEO plugin. So as you can see, the first time you install your, sitecrafter, it has all these installed. Now remember, I said time is money. I am going to be repeating this because that's the theme of this live workshop. Okay, so instead of installing these plugins one by one every single time, these are pre-installed for us in our child theme. Okay, so now all I have to do is to install this. So I'm going to click here on Begin Site Import. So before I do that, I just want to show you what the site looks like right now. And I'm doing this live, so I hope this works really, really well. Okay, so this is our website, blank, no headers, no footer, nothing on it. So what I'm going to do now is to click on Begin Site Import. So this is now going to install all the files, all the plugins, all the settings, and after this, it's going to be ready to go. So I'm going to leave this page here on the screen so that if something does happen, we can troubleshoot just in case you may come across a similar problem. I can see some of you here don't have login details to the Freelance to Income course. I am going to go in and resolve that. Something is wrong with my settings. I'm not sure why it's not giving everyone the login information. But anyway, like I said, I am going to look into this because I really want you to get access to the course. Okay, so it looks like most of our plugins are installed. So now we are installing some media blocks. Okay, so the only way you can see that this is working is by taking a look here at the check marks. Now, sometimes there may be a situation where you have an X over here, which means something is wrong. All you need to do is to refresh it and, it should work fine. So we're almost done now. Let's check the percentage here at the top. So we're at 50%. So we're getting there. So oops, I thought that I was offline. So I just noticed that I was still online. Okay, so like I said, this is still installing. So the other thing that you also have to bear in mind is, like I said, the idea here is to work as fast as possible as the jobs are coming in. So you start off your project by installing Divi. You download sitecrafter. It's going to be on in the course. I'm going to add a link to download it so you can just have access to this right away. Okay, so once you've installed the child theme, this is what it looks like. So here we go. We have all our check marks here, which means everything is okay. Now, a lot of people have an issue, and mostly it's because you're running a old version of Divi. You have to be running the latest version of Divi. So you can see here that it has installed a menu. We've also added some Divi settings in the theme options. We've created a home page. We also have a customizer and so on. So this is what we had before. And I'm now going to refresh this in real time so you can see what our sitecrafter child theme has done. Okay, here we go. So I'll just refresh this page. It's taking its time. Oh, there we go. Right, so now we have a header. We have all these sections here. So when you scroll down, you can see we have a bit of animation here. And when you go down further to the bottom here, we have all these different sections which you can use. We also have a blog, which is already customized for us. I mean, look at that. I mean, it has some dummy content on it. And when I scroll all the way down to the bottom here, we also have a footer. So all you have to do now is to go in and customize this and change the colors. So here on the blog, notice this. If when I click here, the blog page is also designed for us, and pretty much I've saved a lot of time. I mean, this would have taken me a very long time to achieve this if I was designing this from scratch. Now you can see here I also have an opt-in, but if this is something that you don't need, I will show you how to go in and customize it. So you can see here all our colors are looking great, and this is our blog page. So sitecrafter is fantastic to get you up and running. So this is why I highly recommend it. As I mentioned before, this is absolutely free because you took this freelance to income course. All right. So what do we need to do now that we've installed our child theme? So the next thing is to go in and delete the child theme here in the plugins. So I'm going to come over here, install plugins, and I'm going to delete it because we don't need it. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down here. Here it is. Deactivate. And let's delete it. Okay, cool. So now that we've deleted this, it doesn't mean that we've deleted it from our website. It's still there, which is brilliant. So the next thing we need to do is load up our colors. So color is very important in design. And as I was putting this course together, I really thought about this, and I really wanted to make things easy for you as you're designing your websites. So I have a product called Colorizer. Again, Colorizer is free. If you've purchased this course and you're part of this course, all the links will be in the description. Okay, so with Colorizer now, I also have it here on my computer. Here it is. So this is Colorizer. So once you download it, it's a zipped file like that. So what you need to do is to unzip this. So let's double click on it. Okay, so where is it unzipped? Oh, there we go. I think it's in the desktop. Okay, there we go. So there's Colorizer. So now if I double click and go into my folder, you can see here that I have a file called .png. Now it's important that you take a look at this file because this is what gives you the idea of the colors that you may want to use in your designs. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a totally different color scheme as I'm using here on my website. So I'm going to go with this one here, personal 3. Okay, or let's go with personal 1. Okay, so that's the color we're going to go with. I'm going to close here, and then I can see here this is personal 1. So the question now is, how do we install this on our website? So to install it, all you have to do is to come over here to Divi, click on theme options. And then you want to come over here to portability. Click here and then come over here to import. So we're going to drag and drop personal 1 over here and then import Divi theme options. Okay, so our color palette now has been installed. And looks like everything is going well. And yes, so our color palette now has been updated. Really, really cool. So you can see now we've installed our child theme. Now we've installed our colors that we're going to use. Of course, I'm going to go into detail how we should use these colors and what colors we should choose for whatever project it is. That will be coming up in the course. Okay, so now that we have our colors, all we have to do now is to save changes like that. Okay, so every time now we start designing our website, we are going to have access to our colors, which is really, really good. Now, the next part we're going to be talking about here now, again, I'm going to mention this. Time is money. There's a product I came across in the Divi marketplace. Now, I was going to create all these layouts for all you guys, but I realized it was going to take me a long time to create. So here's the product. It's called the basic Wireframe UI kit. So this has a ton of design layouts. It is amazing. So here we have menus, footers, headers, features, content, and so on. So the reason why I want to talk about this is because once you purchase this and download it, basically all your sections are ready to go, all designed for you. So what I've done ahead of time is I installed this on a separate website altogether. So let me show you the site. So this is the website. So I installed this, and by the way, I have Divi Cloud. So I also recommend that you sign up for Divi Cloud. I'll provide all the links in the description. If you sign up for Divi Cloud, that means you can have all these layers. So whatever website you're going to be designing will have these layouts. So let me show you. So over here, I'm just going to refresh this just in case I need to log into my Divi Cloud. So the idea here is once you load up all your layouts, it's going to be very easy to access them. So that's the power of this. So I've just refreshed this. I want to see if I can log in easily. So, okay. So we have this layout here. I want to get rid of it by just deleting it. So let's say I want to start by adding new sections as I'm designing my site. And remember, we're designing sites for our clients. So I'm going to say, okay, add new section, add from library. Okay, this is taking its time. Oh, there we go. All right. So I've loaded this from library. So now I can go in and choose so many sections. Now look at this. I can specifically come over here and say my Divi Cloud. So this is now showing Divi Cloud items only. And because I installed the UI kit, all my layouts are here. So I can now drill down and choose what layouts I need. So let's say, for example, I need pricing tables. So I can just come over here. Oh, let's go for features. Okay, so this now is now showing me just the features. So just by looking at this, I can decide which style I want to go with. So all these different styles here, all done for us. So let's go with this one here. So I'm going to click on that and say use this section. So I want you to notice here at the top, the website I'm working on is divi.local. Okay, so this is where I'm accessing pretty much everything that I'm working on right now. Guys, do you have any questions so far? Do you have any questions? Please add your questions in the video description below. Okay, so this is what I've just loaded. Pretty much done for me already, which is brilliant. So if I need to go in and now customize it, I can just go in, click here on this gear icon, and maybe I'm not a fan of this font, so I can go in, change this from Open Sans to say Poppins, my favorite font. There we go. Right, so I've just updated that. I'm also going to do the same over here on the title. So I'm going to say Poppins here as well. So this is how you'd be using this as you are designing this. So you can see here we have this color here. So this may not be the color that we want to use. So now I can go in, click on this little paintbrush icon. Now remember, we added a brand new color palette, and this is now our color palette. So I can choose the colors that I want now as I'm designing this. So I'm going to go for the title here. And again, I'm going to choose my color. And then for my text, I'm going to go with this color here. Okay, great. So now that I have this pretty much customized, I am going to save changes. In fact, why don't we extend styles? Come over here, extend styles. Okay, I have to go back in. In fact, let me save and reload. Something must have happened here. I can see here a question from OB. OB says, can we use Divi Colorizer with System.io? The answer to that is no, because Divi is a totally different platform as compared to System.io. Okay, so I'm going to now click here and extend styles. Okay, so I'm going to extend the styles to this section. Extend. And boom, my colors here have been updated and pretty much I am good to go. So now I can continue on and click here on this plus button and add another section. So I'm going to say add from library. So let's say this time I need to add a call to action. And again, I'm going to filter down here and go to call to action. But this time I want a dark version. Okay, so I'm going to go with this one here. Click on it. Use this section. And all this is working from the cloud, which is really, really good. Okay, great. So now I have my section here. So all I need to do now is to go in and add my colors. In fact, you know what? I want this at the top. So I'm just going to drag and drop it like that. Okay, so I'm now going to go in and start adding my colors. So for this one here, I'm going to go to the background, and these are my colors, my color palette. So I'm going to change my color here. Let's put something that we can see clearly. There we go. So let's save that. And over here, we have a button that is out of place. So let's go in and change this. So my color now for my button here needs to be something totally different. So I'm going to change it. So text color, I'm going to go with that. And we also have to add our border. There we go. So I've just added my border and my text. Now, if you want to make this a solid color, we can also make it solid like that, and then change our text color, or even go with white. Finally, because everything is pop-ins, we can come over here now and change our button font. There you go. So once we have our button here and it has everything that we need and we're happy with it, the next step now remember, time is money. You want to save this button in case you want to use it again in the future. So this is where you come over here and create a new preset from current styles like that. So I'm just going to say main button. Right now, because this is going to be pretty much the button I'm going to use everywhere, I can assign it to a default. So every time I create a new button, this is what shows up. But I'm just going to click it and save it as a preset. Okay, so now that I have this set, it means every time I'm going to create a button, I can load it up from my presets. Now, let me prove that this actually works. So I'm going to come over here and let's add a button here like that. So when you first add a button, it's just going to show our standard button here, but I'm going to click on this drop down and choose my preset, and there we go. That has saved me a lot of time, because imagine trying to design each button every single time. That's going to take ages. Okay. So presets also very important as you're designing. So now I can come over here and I can add my image. Not sure if I have images in here. I think I do actually. Yes, so I do have some images. So let me find a really nice images. I'm a fan of Land Rover, as you can see here. There we go. I'm gonna hit upload. So there's my image. And you can also go in and update your text to your font. All right, so I'm going to save this, but like I said, I want you to take a look here at the top. It says divi.local. Now remember, we created a brand new site over here, freelance to income.local. So this is the site now we're going to be working on. And if I say visit site here, you are going to see a totally different site as to the one I was working on. So I want to show you the power of using Divi Cloud. Now, Divi Cloud is super, super, super awesome, because all the layouts that I imported the first time, the UI kit, are all in the Divi Cloud, which means I can access them from any website that I will be designing. All right, so let's do that. So now I'm on freelance to income.local. So let's say I want to add or start customizing this. Now you can see here on the top, our header has already been designed for us because I used our child theme. Okay, so I have a question here from Patricia. Okay, very good question. If we install the plugin for layouts, why do we need to add individual sections? Okay, so This here is a complete website. As you can see, I have the about page. So what could happen is, let's say you are working with a client and the client wants a specific layout for the about page, because what we have here may not be something that the client is a fan of. So as you can see here, this is the layout that I have, but maybe the client doesn't want this section here, or doesn't like the layout. So this is where you can quickly go in and add a new layout. So let's say we want to transform this about page. So let's use this. Eddie says I have access to the course, but not the child theme. Okay, Eddie, I will send you a link to the child theme. In fact, I'll have it in the course description. All right, so now I'm going to enable the Visual Builder so we can see how to customize this. So the other reason, Patricia, is if you're going to be using this child theme, you don't want every single person to have the same sort of website as other clients. They want something unique. So this is where you can just swap around things and use different sections. This UI kit just pretty much saves you a lot of time when it comes to designing this. Okay, so let's say we want a totally different background here. Section. I can just delete this and then click on this plus button, add from library. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because, like I say, this is a totally different website. This is Freelance to Income, and the one we're working on is called divi.local. So this is a brand new website. So let's pretend this is a brand new client. And this is the first time we're working on this. So what you would do now is to sign into Divi Cloud. And this can be done on any website. So I'm going to say log in automatically and then log in with this account. Okay, so now that I'm logged in, notice that I have all my sections in here. This is super, super cool. All the contact pages. So let's say you want to create a totally different contact page compared to other clients. There's different versions of contact pages here, which just makes it really, really awesome. So now let's say I want to add a team section here. I can just choose here on the left and say team. Color, that URL is on my local computer. So I guess this is something I could do as well on as a video in our course on how to design your websites locally on your local machine, because this is what I normally do for tutorials. But you can also practice this on your local computer, saving you hosting. And sometimes when you're on the internet, the speed is not that fast. So if you're working on your local machine, this works really, really well. So this is a free plugin which you can use, and you can pretty much, create as many websites as you want. In fact, let me show you briefly what it looks like. So here it is. Okay, so Freelance to Income, that's the website. So these are all demo websites that I work with when I create my courses, and also when I play around with different softwares that I'll be testing to see how they work. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so let's continue on. So we wanted to add a team section here. So there's different layouts here, and there's a preview. So this could be, let's see which one we can go with. Okay, I'm going to go with this one here. It's slightly different. The only problem is I'm going to need some images to work with this. But anyways, I'm going to say use this section. So this now is going to install the section. Again, saving me a lot of time. Okay, great. So now I have my section here. Now remember, we installed our color palette. So now I can just go in here, scroll all the way down, go to my background, gradient, because I can see they use a gradient here, and I can now go in and change my colors by coming over here. So let's choose a color here. But you know what, for this, colors don't really work well because it's just a gradient. This would look nice if there was an image in the background, but I don't think I have an image. Let's check. Scroll down. Okay, here's our image option here. Click on this plus button, media library. Okay, so we do have some images here. So let's go with this young lady here, upload an image. Okay, so here's our image on the top. So we might also need an image here in the background. So it depends how you want to have this, if you want to have a solid color or yeah, in fact, you know what, I'm not a fan of this. So I can just delete this and choose another one. The customization is not very good. Okay, so let's add from library. And did we say features? Okay, so let's go with testimonials. Okay, so here's our testimonials. I can choose that one. Magnus, I'm not sure why you're getting that releasing soon. Let me send you the link now so you can check it out. Okay, so this is the section that I've just created. So the next step now is just to add our colors. So I can go in here, click on this gear icon, go to background, and I can now update my background color. Look at that. So if I go into one of these, I can just go in quickly and add all my elements. So this one here needs to be an image. So I'm going to add an image of this young guy. Save that. So just like that, I was able to go in and now I have my testimonials. So let's continue editing this because it's important that you see how easy it is to customize and edit this. Okay, so this text here, I'm going to change it to, I'm also going to change the colors because there's no contrast here. So I want it to be very easy to read. So I'm going to go with a light color. There we go. And the CEO stuff, I'll leave that as it is and save. Okay, so we want the same style across board. So I'm going to again click here on these three little dots and then extend testimonial styles. It's very important. Oops, what happened there? Extend testimonial styles. Okay, let me save this page. Not sure why is there a lag or something is happening. I'm just going to exit the Visual Builder now and then go back in because sometimes this happens. Okay, so here's our section. Oh, here it is. So it also has a bit of animation. So let's go back in and finalize this. So I can see there's quite a few questions here. Let me have a look. Okay, so this is Patrick saying I bought the funnels to income a month ago and they've got a login. Okay, Patrick, no problem. I'm going to sort this out before I leave today and make sure you have access. Wayne, I can see you don't have access to the course as well. I will again resolve this for you. Okay, color here is a very, very interesting question. If a client gives you specific colors for their brand, what format do you need to put them in ready for the colors to import? Okay, so if your client gives you the colors, you have to put them in manually. Okay, and let me show you where you would add them manually. So over here on our site, let's go to, okay, in fact, let's use this one here. It's easier. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. and then go to theme options. So with this now, you would need to override these colors with the client's colors from their color palette. So for example, we would come over here, and this is where you would add the colors. So let's say the color is FFF 000. Is there a color that's, no, oops. Okay, there we go. So let's say this is one of the colors. You would enter it here, add the next one, and so on. And once you have all your colors, you just come over here and click on Save Changes. So this is where you would need to add the colors for if the client has the colors, okay? There's another question here. How do you record the Freelance to Income course? Thanks. Okay, I use my screen capture software. So the screen capture software is ScreenFlow. So I record it as I'm speaking like this, and then edit it. And I'm also able to switch between my camera and my main screen. And then once I do that, I save the file, and then not save, I edit it, and then export the file. So that's how pretty much I save this. If this is something that you're interested in and how to create online courses, I guess this is a course that I could add into our course library. And again, this will be free for our lifetime members. So, but anyway, in a nutshell, that is how I record them. Okay, right. So any more questions here? Do you need to apply to that section? Basil, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Is this the extend styles? But anyway, another quick way to do this is just to right click here and copy module styles. And then you just come over here, right click and paste module styles. Where's that option? Okay, here we go. Right click and paste module styles. There we go. It has been updated. I'm going to do the same over here as well. Paste module styles. So this now has the right color. It also has the right font. So all I have to do now is to go in and just change the image. So I'm going to come down and look for my image here. So this time I need to use a different one. Let's go with this guy or this lady here. Upload image. And there's our image. In fact, this is too dark. Don't like that. Let's choose another one. Let's go with this one here. There we go. Okay. And just to make this section look great, let's just add the final one here. Again, I'm going to come to the image and let's change this. This time we're going to go with this guy here. Excellent. But you can see, how easy it was to go in quickly and update this section with our testimonials. This would have taken us quite a bit of time to go in and create this, but with the UI kit, it has just made things very, very easy. Okay, so I know I need to give a link to Magnus. Right, so in the meantime, guys, if you have any questions, please add your questions. Oh yes, so Basil says, yes, you need to apply to that section, because if you apply to the whole page, you may have some problems. So it needs to be to that section if you are designing one item that you need to apply, across that section, okay? Okay. Karen says, will the course cover how to make child themes like the one you've demonstrated today? Yes, but I'm thinking maybe the course will be way too big if I were to do that. But I could create a mini course on how to create child themes, and I will give it away for free to all you guys who've joined Freelance to Income, and of course for you guys in the lifetime membership. Okay, but I'll have to create it as a separate mini course. But yes, this is something that may also be really good for freelance designers selling your own templates. So yes, definitely I will do that as well. Okay. Now you see the benefits of becoming a lifetime member. Pretty much you have access to all these new items that will be coming out. Right, so let me just find that link for Magnus, funnels. In the meantime, guys, if you have any questions, please add your questions. OB says, after you created the freelance to income course, where did you export it to? Okay, so when I created the course, what you do now is you have to add the videos to Vimeo. So that's the video hosting platform that I use. So from Vimeo, I grab the link. On my site on Funnels to Income, I also have a plugin called LearnDash. That is the plugin that controls the layout and the look of my course. So for those of you that haven't seen the Freelance to Income course, so this is what it looks like on my dashboard. So when I scroll down here, these are the lessons. So here's the welcome, the brief, the types of websites to design, and so on. So if you click here, this LearnDash just gives you the framework. It gives you pretty much an interface that makes it easier for people to learn. So you can see here, if I just click here on play, this will now play, the video in the course. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to play that. And on the left here, it just gives you a nice interface, a nice design, which you can have a look at as you are learning. So it's LearnDash that you need. But again, it's something that I can talk about when the time comes, because I can see quite a lot of you want to see how I've done this. Mark Weber says, just about getting access to... Okay, so you want, Mark, you want to join this as a lifetime member. That's awesome, because as a lifetime member, you get access to pretty much all the current courses and all the future courses. So yeah, that is a definitely a wise choice. And these courses, can cost from, $149, some of them are $299 and so on. But I try to run some deals, as much as I can so that it's affordable for quite a lot of you. But all these deals will be going away soon. But the lifetime deal is definitely what you want to get, because you get access to everything. Okay, so Eddie says, okay, cool. So, okay, so you're asking for access. Let me see. Okay, brilliant. So I can see that you guys found what you were looking for. So just for everybody else, in case you're not sure what's going on here, let me just show you guys. So if I go to my dashboard here, so this is the dashboard you see for your main. So this is your main dashboard. So you can see here, this is the list of all your courses. So if you want to take a look at your templates, this is where you would go. Click here on templates, and you will have access to pretty much all the templates. So there's sitecrafter here, there's WooCrafter for WooCommerce, there's Colorizer, this is also ready, and so on. Okay, so this is where you would find it. Okay, awesome. Any more questions? Oh, Eddie, you're looking for the course. Yeah, so if you're looking for the course, you need to go to your dashboard. Okay, so come over here to my profile, click on dashboard. Okay, so Mark. Oh, Mark says you're a lifetime member already. Okay, so I will sort that out for you as well, Mark. I will give you access to that. Okay, just after the live stream. Okay, so what we've covered today are the tools that make it easier for you to design your website super fast, because time is money. So first of all, like I said, the child theme, sitecrafter. You can use this child theme for pretty much any type of website. In fact, in the upcoming lessons, I am going to show you the approach that I take to a specific website, and this will be as if you were designing a website for your client using sitecrafter. So I'm going to add my UI kit. I'm also going to add my colors. I'm going to pretty much do everything that I would need if I was approaching a brand new website design. So we covered Divi Cloud, how important it is to design your websites with Divi Cloud, because you can store all your layouts, not just from the UI kit, but as you're designing websites, you are going to notice that there's certain layouts you need to have in your library because you use them over and over again, like contact pages. It could be pretty much anything. You want to save this to your library so that as you're designing websites, you don't need to go in and design it every single time. Next, we spoke about the global color, the colors. And this is Colorizer. So Colorizer is very important because it gives you the colors that you need in order for you to get up and running super fast if your client does not have a color palette. But if they do, you have to go in and add them manually, as I've shown you. Next, we also have the theme builder. The theme builder is something we haven't touched on now, in this lesson, but I will show you how to use the theme builder to design your website super fast. But the UI kit is super important because once you install it on Divi Cloud, you can access it from any type of website you're going to be designing, and it's unlimited. So this is the reason why I choose Divi over the other page builders, because it just makes it easier for you to design your website and integrate other tools that make it easier for you to design. So sitecrafter is free. Colorizer, which is our color palettes, absolutely free. They are in the dashboard, as I've shown you. And so the Wireframe UI kit is the one that we need to purchase. I'll leave a link to that in the video description below. So, as I was designing these websites, I started getting really, really fast, designing them, to a point where as Divi was improving, it was also improving my workflow. But I got to a point where I became overwhelmed with work, to a point where it was just way too much, right? I had sleepless nights and I had no way of managing my clients, managing information that was coming in. It was all via email, and that was very, very chaotic. And it got me to a point where I really fell out of love with designing websites, which is why I ended up working with Elegant Themes. Some of you guys may know that I worked with Elegant Themes. I'm not with them anymore, but I worked with them before because they saw some of the tutorials that I did for them. That I did for Divi, and they were happy with that I did. So I worked with them for about 5 years, but I am now definitely considering doing my own courses and also going back to my freelance design. So I am going to be sharing a lot of information, and this is going to be all in real time as I'm setting up my own business as well, because I realized that passion of design, it just makes me very, very happy to start from a blank canvas, ending up with a website which is fully functional and a website that brings results for our clients. So this is a course which is going to be filled with a lot of information and a lot of tools that I will be using. I'll be sharing pretty much everything that I'm using throughout this course. So it's going to be very, very exciting. It took time for me to put this together because I really wanted it to be really, really good and perfect before I started it. So this is why I am ready now to have this course out there for pretty much anyone who wants to earn money using web design, to learn from. Okay. Okay, so I can see some messages here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, okay, guys, can you do me a favor? Can you send me emails to mac@funnelstoincome.com? Okay, here it is. Can you just send me an email, and then so that I can just go through all these today and give you access. If you're having problems with anything, just state what the issue is, because right now on my freelance to, on my funnels to income website, I have a massive backlog of messages that I need to respond to. But since you guys want access to the course right away and all the assets, please send me an email and I'll nudge this to the top of the list so I can give you access to this course. Patricia says, so the sitecrafter theme, only one layout. Yes, it's only one layout, but I am working on different types of layouts. So far I have sitecrafter. I also have WooCrafter, which is a WooCommerce child theme. And again, I will be talking about this, and it's free again for those of you that have purchased this course. Okay. OB says, how is being one-man show working for you? I like it. Yes, I mean, it was a bit challenging in the beginning because financially, the money that I was getting from Elegant Themes came to an end. So I had to make sure things were balanced. But now I'm in a position where all the work that I'll be doing is work dedicated to all the students, you guys, and also my YouTube channel, my passion for filmmaking and stuff like that. So I would say I'm in a good place now, and it's really good. But I'm workaholic. I always love working, but so far I'm really enjoying it. Mark, as I mentioned, I have a massive backlog, so sorry about that. But if you can just send me an email again after this, I will prioritize these emails because you need access to these courses. So please bear with me on this one. It was just a ton of emails that I have to respond to. So please, I'm really sorry about that. Okay, any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Okay, so all the links that of the things that we spoke about are going to be in the video. I'll upload this video onto Vimeo or YouTube and then unlist it. So for those of you that joined on this live workshop late can access it. And obviously those that missed it can also access it. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos coming out soon. But like I said, this is an ongoing course, and I will be adding quite a lot of content as we go. If you do have any questions, please do ask when you do these live workshops, because this is a great way of doing our Q&As. But go through all these tools that we spoke about. Very important. It makes your work much easier. But we are going to go into detail where I'll show you how these can be used in real time as you're designing a complete website. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you again in the next one. Take care.